Hey everyone, Arachnid here, and welcome to another video of mine. Before we get into the topic of this video, I just wanted to let you all know that I did indeed change my choice of TTS voice that I might stick with from now on. While the previous TTS voice is fine, it tends to pronounce certain words strangely, so I choose this one that you're listening to right now. Honestly, if CapCut wasn't so money hungry, I would have stuck with the one TTS voice I usually use in my older speed draw videos, but this is fine, I can deal with it. Another thing to note, I'm surprised with myself that I haven't decided to replace this sprites by making another new sets of PNG model sprites like I always do. Wow, maybe this current PNG model might be the one for me, unless I decided to change it once again due to how I can never be satisfied with it. While I would try using my actual voice instead, I don't have the money to get a decent microphone and that I have a massive social anxiety ever. But maybe in the future, I might actually do a voice reveal and no longer having to type every single caption just for the TTS CapCut to voice over. Now with that junk out of the way, I can go talk about the main topic of this video. If you have seen the community post I made, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then that's okay. If you have watched the video of me redesigning an old cringy Sonic OC into a Sonicpasta OC, this is going to be similar to that. Well, minus the turning into Sonicpasta OC for this one, because this time I want to have more regular Sonic OCs, because I enjoy having those as well. I think it can also be a fun exercise to draw non-horror related Sonic OCs, to keep the brain going and not go into a serious art block. So, for today's video, I will be redesigning and drawing a quick illustration practice on another old Sonic OC I had found within my PC. Unlike Bloodbath, my other old Sonic OC that had been redesigned, this one doesn't really had a bad design overall. I sort of liked it even. Here, I'll show you. This one is named Starcoil. I am not sure what his species was, but I believe he's a mix between an armadillo and I guess a hedgehog. He looks quite cute. Although, I do question younger me on the choices of his powers listed in here. One is just ball, which I'm guessing is a spin dash. The other a literal calamity. I find that to be a little funny, if not a tad bit curious on how he could wield such power while looking like a regular Mobian dude wearing blue sneakers. While the idea of redesigning him into a royalty or a cosmic warrior Mobian can be interesting as it festers in my brain, I decided to keep him a casual modern Mobian. I also decided that while he still can use spin dash, his meteor shower ability will just turn into something akin to the Psycho Cut move from Pokemon instead. Simply because the idea of him being able to summon literal meteor shower towards his target seems incredibly overpowered and unfair. I got too much overpowered Sonic OCs as it is. It's time for the regular Joes with a bit of power to take the spotlight. When I found the old art of Starcoil with his old design, I already have some sort of idea on how to redesign him. I think I had troubles early on during this drawing. At first I thought of changing his hybrid species from armadillo and hedgehog to armadillo and volve, and then I guess a bird at some point. I've ultimately decided that he will be a mix of armadillo, a volve and a cockroach. Weird combination, I know, but it's what I ended up with in the end. During the sketching phase, I've sketched out few designs and never liking any of them. However, I managed to sketch out something I'm okay with. It took a few trials and errors, but that's pretty normal when doing character designs that somewhat match with my standard of a decent design. I gave Starcoil this big fluffy chest fur that almost resembled a star shape. Because his name is Starcoil, I think the star-shaped chest fur makes it better. Another thing I gave him is a pair of arm sleeves because it looked good on him, and that I felt in his original design. The body is too plain and boring to look at. Starcoil's new design must match with his personality, and since I don't remember much about him before all this, I decided to make him somewhat chaotic. Or, rather, A lawful neutral guy that can sometimes be chaotic whenever an exciting situation or event is happening, like the Metal Virus Apocalypse for example. So I'm hoping to make this new design match with his friendly and almost chaotic energy. The color palette will mostly stay the same, but with minor adjustments to it. I was going to give him a star pattern on his forehead, but I don't want to overdone his new design in order to keep the casual and simple vibe this guy may give. I also tried to make his face look a bit intimidating to make him appear as if he's a menace somewhat, but actually is a sweetheart with a bit of chaotic personality. I gave him a piercing, scarred ear and baggy pants and it looked cool on him, so I kept it. The collar is an odd choice, but I felt that he would wear a collar for style. Once I'm satisfied with how the sketch turned out, finally, I immediately went to work on the line art. This part of the drawing is what I like the most. I've got to refine and readjust some part of the design during the line art stage. I removed some minor things like the extra piercings on the scarred ear. I haven't thought much about his origin other than that he's possibly a failed experiment by GUN that ran away from the facility he was created in. Few years after his escape, the knowledge of his existence just vanished since GUN believed he would have not lived that long in the big world due to him being weak. Starcoil ended up living in a dark and uninhabited forest that's somewhere close to Green Hill Zone. He tends to find himself watching Sonic fighting Eggman often. The fights between Sonic and his friends against Eggman and his robots inspired him to be adventurous, thus finding himself in a lot of dangerous situations. But that's alright. Starcoil, a pretty tough guy and hard to be destroyed. Unsure if it was the fact that he's sometimes lucky, stubborn, or because he's part cockroach. During the coloring process, I wasn't sure whether to make his colors vibrant or slightly dull. I even thought of making it pastel at one point, but didn't go with it. I stick with making it vibrant, since I always preferred saturated colors more than the rest of the style of coloring. It also matched with his character overall. With the design finalized, and his simple reference sheet done, I went to draw an illustration of him with his new look as a practice run to test the design a bit. Spoiler alert, I actually find it fun to draw him. I adore Starcoil's original design, but with the new one I created, I liked it even more, especially when drawing him. As you can see here, I had tried using an image material from the asset store to try and break it down to simple look in order to draw the hand I wanted. But I couldn't figure out how to make it work since I've had yet to learn the ways of breaking it into simple shapes to form a stylized style of the more cartoony hand. So I removed the image material and drew a different hand that's more in the angle and perspective that I'm more familiar with drawing it in, as it is easier for me. This drawing didn't really took me too long to finish, as the finished piece of it is really simple, because as I say, a practice illustration to test draw the new Starcoil. This is also the art piece where I tried to figure out Clip Paint Studio's very own auto action feature, which might I add, very useful when creating illustrations. I couldn't really do lighting very well, so the free auto action I found in the asset store where it makes the lighting looks more good than before. The auto action for it made the lighting have this filters that matches what kind of mood or scenery the character is in. Sadly, I didn't draw any background for this. I still have yet to learn on how to draw proper backgrounds for my illustrations. I'll do my best to practice for that in the future. For now, this illustration looked fine without any background, though I think it will look even better with one. I'm kind of proud of the way I drew Starcoil in here. This auto action has lots of mood filters to choose from, so I went with a warm tone to contrast with the dark blue background. It made Starcoil look so cool. Looking back at the illustration, there are many things I want to readjust Starcoil's new design. The color palette right now is okay, but I think I could have done better. That's it for the speed draws. I hope you guys enjoy watching the whole process of me drawing them. I've learned a lot within this video, so I might do better next time. There's not a whole lot of me making fun of Starcoil's old design except his powers. It's probably because the OG design was already solid on its own. I liked it at least. Unlike Bloodbath, my other old Sonic OC has a very questionable OG design. Starcoil's is less edgy and the colors seem to fit well with each other. I have yet to find any other old Sonic OCs I had kept throughout the years. So stay tuned to my channel if you guys would like to see more OC redesigns. And I can't believe I never say this in my other videos. If you want to support me, please subscribe and like the videos. It helps me a lot and motivates me more. If you have stick around this long, thank you for watching. It's appreciated. See you guys next time in my next video.